Alrighty. Um, great. A couple minutes past 11. We'll go ahead and get started, guys. I know a few are still kind of trickling in, but this is recorded. For those who are on, if you want to go back, and then for those who are unable to make it, we'll have, just like we usually do, we'll send out an email with the recording link afterwards, and also upload it to Sweet Assist and then put in the Facebook group. So this morning, probably take maybe about 30 minutes. Just kind of depends on Q&A, how much Q&A we have. But we're going to go through Swell Transacts, which we are really, really super pumped to announce here at the company, something that we've been kind of working on. It's actually been on the radar for us for quite some time. As with many of us, we can't work on everything all at once. We kind of want to focus our time on certain projects and initiatives, and our team has been doing a great job at that. But this is something that, we wanted to make sure we were finally ready to kind of put the right effort into developing this solution internally. And so we really got to work here in the last couple months on putting this all together and kind of putting the team in place. So Swell Transacts, really, really excited to bring this about. We're going to go ahead and kind of go through what exactly the service is. We'll talk about the different services offered, talk about the order processing part of it, billing, and then leave it up for Q&A. I'm sure there'll be some questions here that some of you have, but yeah, so we'll just kind of dive right into it. One of the things of, well, for one, Suite Assist. Most of you all are aware we've been running on our transaction management Suite Assist for probably right about a year now. Well, a little over a year. I think we launched about last October, and it really has helped us streamline a lot of our processes as an organization in order to better serve our agents. We've been in high growth mode the last couple years, and identifying a pretty lean or transaction management workflow, document auditing process, and having all of that online in an automated fashion, having something digital was very important to us. And that's why we went ahead, and after researching a lot of different systems, Suite Assist just really fit with us, fit with our brokerage model, our structure. And it's done a lot for us. Again, it saved us a lot of time, streamlining a lot of things for us, so we can kind of put some of our time to other areas to better help our agents here. So since implementing the system and also researching the current landscape of agent business operations out there, there have been areas, I think, where we feel we can provide some added value to you all on a transaction. To those who are interested or just highly need this additional level of support. Here at Swell, I mean, each agent is a bit unique. They run their real estate business differently than others. Maybe they prefer to be more hands-on with the paperwork or administrative side of the business, or maybe they choose to task those duties elsewhere to someone else on their team, or someone maybe more specialized in that area. Maybe they're set up where a large percentage of their time and growth is centered around new business activities like prospecting. So they need somebody on their team or here to assist with those back office tasks, right? Or maybe you're just relatively new to the business. So these are the types of agents here at the brokerage we're really looking to serve with this type of solution, and rolling it out is for that latter half. We want to continue to empower agents. I think, agents, again, joining the brokerage, we provide them with an environment to develop the business they want to develop and have the freedom and flexibility in order to do so. And, ultimately, we feel rolling this out will only provide another tool in the toolbox that an agent can really leverage here at the company. So I think all these things being said, and I'm not sure how many of you all have already taken a look at the website to kind of see some of the services being offered, but we're gonna spend some time to go through that. But this is just another piece here at the brokerage that agents can tap into and help streamline their business, right? And so we'll kind of go through that here in terms of what's being offered. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And if somebody can just confirm, make sure that they can see my screen. Should be the
Yes,
Swell
sir.
Transacts website. Got it? Awesome. All right. So here is Swell Transacts. This is our front-facing website for agents that you will go to process orders, review services, things like that. It will eventually be built out over time. We'll probably hub it into Suite Assist. We'll go through billing here in a little bit. But this is the website that you'll go to look at the services available within your particular market, and then also process or complete an order. Swelltransacts.com is the website. So, go ahead and save that, bookmark it. Again, we'll have it labeled in Suite Assist as well. But this is the site. So essentially, what you'll do is if you come in here, there's a View Services tab. We'll kind of go down real quick, and it's a very easy system to get started with. So the first step, of course, reviewing your services. We'll tap into the services page here in just a second. Once you've identified the service that you need, you'll submit the order form. I'll show you all how to do that. And then the third step is the confirmation process. So once you've submitted the order form, just being on the same page with your transaction coordinator in terms of what's being fulfilled, and just all the details that come with that. So if you go into the View Services tab, right now we have a couple markets built out. We have our HRVA, Northeastern North Carolina, in Richmond, Virginia. So the first step, of course, you'll go in and identify what market. This is very important, guys, because certain services are not offered in certain markets as of right now. So again, if you're in the Hampton Roads market, that's where your transaction's taking place, or whatever assistance you need, make sure you click on HRVA, and then vice versa with the other markets. So what we'll do is we'll start with HRVA. If you click on into here, this will pull up the list of services that are being offered. And so we have three main components for each market. We have basic transaction coordination, which Shonda for our Hampton Roads market will highlight here what each service includes in just a second. The second component is going to be Suite Assist. So we have some Suite Assist additional level of support there pertaining to Suite Assist, and then just additional services, kind of an a la carte menu. And these are kind of one-off services that are provided. Now, before we kind of go through the order process, I certainly want to kind of highlight, and we'll go into the other markets here in just a second. But I'm going to turn this over to Shonda, and she's going to kind of walk you through what each service, beyond kind of the title and description here, but what exactly are you receiving? What's being fulfilled on each specific service level and option? So, Shonda, if it's cool with you, I'll go ahead and turn it over, and you can kind of run through this for Hampton Roads agents.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Shonda Richardson Young, and I am a licensed realtor. I've been with Swell, I think, Matt, since the beginning.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, since the beginning. I started off in real estate with transaction coordination. I worked for Ring for, I can't even remember how many years. So working with the board of directors over at Ring. So I have a lot of vast knowledge of the real estate field. So basically, with our our standard service, TC service there, it's very standard. You have a contract or an offer that you want to go into contract or is under contract, and you want someone to handle all of the paperwork. So basically, once you have your contract, you would forward that over, and I make sure all your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted, and that you are D4 compliant. I will set up your home inspections if that's what you need me to do with your preferred vendor. You just give me that information. I will order your HOA and POA docs if you need those ordered. Make sure that you don't miss any deadlines. We will make sure that that EMD is turned in on time, that sort of thing. So basically, it is the start of the contract all the way through the closing documents of the contract, but it is handling the paperwork only. So I'll make sure there are no initials missing, all those important little things that can get caught up should Swell have an audit of documents or rain calls for documents, just to make sure that you are D4 compliant. So that's what that entails. I also will be happy to communicate with the other side when we're using the standard service. So the agent on the other side, to make sure that you have all your information signed on that side. Like maybe the letter of compensation, you may have a hard time getting that signed. I will follow up with that, make sure the PICRA gets back in a timely fashion, so on and so forth. So I handle all of that information. I also communicate with the closing agent as well to make sure that they have everything that they need in order to get your deal to the closing table. So basically it's crossing all T's, dotting all I's, and making sure we meet all of our deadlines in a timely fashion. So we also have your combo service. So with your combo service, that's the service combo. The service combo is everything I talked about in the first standard contract service. However, I will actually write up your PICRA for you and go to your home inspection. So if you are an agent who is super busy, maybe you have an appointment that day, you can't make your home inspection. Hey, Shonda, can you go to my home inspection? Can you write up the PICRA for me? That becomes part of the combo. So I take care of that for you, and also with making sure that the other agent on the other side gets it and go through all the items that need to. I will handle that part for you, going back and forth, even the negotiation part of the PICRA. You will, as the agent, be copied on everything and very involved. This is not a drop in my lap and then you don't have to do anything. You're definitely going to be involved. It's more of a you can move on to other dollar productive items because I'm working on these things. You're copied on all emails. Your client is aware that we're working together as a team. And again, I am a licensed realtor, so I am able to communicate with all parties involved.
And Shonda, the agent is still the agent of record. It's still their
That
signature
is
on the
correct.
PICRA or any other related document.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I will actually, when I do these files, like I said, you're copied on everything. But what I like to do is have maybe a weekly meeting with you. If you're an agent that's really out there hustling on the next deal, I just like to say, hey, can we have a meeting? So maybe if I have more than one of your files, we can just make sure that you're all caught up. Because again, you are the agent of record, so you want to be up to date as to what's happening with your file. So that's very important. So sand to sea sand to sea becomes, I've done this a couple of times, several times for agents. Sand to sea basically is from start to end, again, in a sense of maybe you're on vacation on some tropical island and you can't show the house. You have an agent, a client who's ready to purchase a property. They need to see this property. So I will show the property, however many properties they need to see. I will write the offer. I will do basically from start to beginning. So showing, writing the offer, going through the home inspection, going through the walkthrough, communicating with all parties involved. You are the agent of record. You will be signing the offer. You'll be signing the PICRA, all those things. What happens in this case, if you are in Germany, Australia, I don't know, Thailand, wherever you are, and you're not able to do that, then of course we will talk about being the second agent on there so that we're all covered. So if again Swell gets audited, I'm also the agent of record on the file as well. So we will make sure that is a more involved transaction. But again, I've done several of those, and I take that all the way to the closing table. I will also go to your client's closing. Some clients need to have their agents there. They will always know that you are their agent. It's not a sense of feeling as if they're pawned off to the next person. They feel like they're getting double the customer service because they have a team working with them. You will always be available to them. But again, being the licensed realtor, I'm able to answer their questions and walk them through the process. Listing service is up next. Very simple. For the listing service, I prep your paperwork. Get all your paperwork ready, have your client. I also go over that with you prior to sending it out for your client to sign and upload your upload your listing into the MLS and also Suite Assist. All of these services involve me uploading the documents, the necessary documents into Suite Assist, by the way, if you choose to do any of those services. Listing, I will do your pictures for you. If you have pictures, you just send the file over to me. I'll make sure they get uploaded. If Rain kicks it back for any reason, sometimes, we're not perfect. Rain, hey, you're missing this, so let's mark that. As long as you let me know, I will take care of that. I will do listing change for you when I do your listing service. So if your price has to be adjusted or so forth, I handle all of that. Okay, Matt, you want me to go on through the additional services as well?
No, I think the only so in terms of the additional services, I think we're pretty straightforward. Just because of time's sake, anybody can always reach out directly if they have any questions on what those additional services are. Just so we can hop onto the Richmond side as well. But I do want to highlight. I know we went through the TC, the front stuff there, or the top
Yes, the
stuff
Suite
there.
Assist service.
Yeah, the Suite Assist solely. The document upload.
Absolutely. So this is a great service for agents who are pretty good with their paperwork and they just don't have time to upload their documents and get everything situated into Suite Assist, the necessary documents that the office needs in order to process your commission. I will handle this process for you. I do have access to your transaction desk if need be, and your buyer brokers and things like that, you can send over to me, but I will make sure all of the necessary documents are uploaded into Suite Assist. So when your commission comes in, you're not getting the call from me going, I need this document, the initials aren't on this, I need your closing sheet, that sort of thing. I handle all of that, making sure that that's all uploaded into Suite Assist. So when your commission comes in, it's quite quickly processed. There's no issue about missing documents because I take care of uploading those. So I'll upload your contract, your PICRA, all the necessary documents, your POA docs. And if you're missing those documents, if I don't see them in your transaction desk or you haven't emailed them to me, we handle that stuff before your commission comes in. So you're not having to have a delay in processing when it comes to commission.
Great. Well, thank you, Shonda. So let's go ahead and go into Richmond. Jessica is on as well. Jessica is handling our Richmond market transactions. So Jessica, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to those who don't know you and go through each one of these services here. It would be great.
Okay, thanks, Matt. I'm Jessica Pye. You can call me Jess. I joined Swell, I think back in August, and I was, before that, I'd done real estate as an agent for about 3 or 4 years now. But before all of that, I started out as pre-listing and transaction coordinating in Northern Virginia. I also worked for Redfin for about 3 or 4 years, and there's where I kind of really honed in on a lot of the transaction stuff because it's an extremely high volume of transactions. I think I left there and I would help sometimes anywhere from 10 to 20 agents at a time to get all of their deals to the settlement table. So I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of stuff. And we did this in Richmond. It's a little different, but I think it's, like Matt said, is pretty self-explanatory. If you want, going into the listing, pre-listing, kind of what I'm talking about is for the sell side is I help making sure everything before going on to the market. So you meet with your sellers, you get the listing agreement signed, and then you come over to me and we celebrate for a moment and then we get to work. I will be reaching out to the client and making sure that all their appointments if they have something like the photographer, a stager, helping things on that end and inputting into MLS and everything like that. It's pretty much is right there. You can do your HOA documents. I would order them with seller approval and just kind of make sure everything's good on that end before you hit the market. Then going on to the under contract services, those are full service. That's once you're ratified. So once you're ratified, again, we celebrate. I like chocolate, so we'll do that, and then we'll get to work. So we'll do the same thing. I'm reaching out to the client, all the parties involved, opening title, making sure that the appointments are taken care of, and just kind of making sure they're okay. There's a bit on breakdown under the detailed list, so you'll see on the purchase side, on the sell side, I have templates that I use that, and again, everything that I do, you'll be CC'd on. I do help write addendums and such, if you need that kind of help. Everything though would come from the agent. I would not be negotiating. That's something that Richmond right now we decided not to do at this point, but I can certainly help you with making sure those addendums are sent out on time, signed, and then distributed to all the parties necessary. I'll be helping making sure, just like Shonda, all the timelines are met and everything of that nature. We have a la carte services that you'll see. I can do yard signs and lock boxes. I also am bilingual. I can attend closings if you have, for example, Spanish-speaking clients. I can go to closing and help translate those documents. Or if you have Spanish-speaking clients, I can help work with you to make sure that they understand fully what's going on, or if they have questions, I can kind of help step in on that as well.
Great, thanks, Jess.
Mhm.
So if anybody has any questions, of course, in each particular market, we do have this view details tab. You can always click on that and it'll kind of break out, again, exactly what Shonda and Jess just went over for you. Of course, if there's anything that needs further clarification, don't hesitate to reach out to either one of them or myself, and we can help you out with that. But again, everything's kind of housed in that view details button. So after you've kind of gone through, if any of these services are something that you need, what you can do is you can go through. You'll see to the left of that view details button is an order now option. So everything, just to clarify, everything in terms of ordering and how we facilitate this department is going to be through the website. And what I mean by that is sometimes I know maybe agents might call Shonda directly, or maybe Jess directly, or the office directly, and hey, you know, I need to get this done or that done. If it's anything that is included within Swell Transacts, then we're going to ask to direct you to the website to create that order. So that's how kind of our alert process works. Our project management process, everything is attached within the website. So this will always be your main starting point. Once you're in here and you click on the services tab, depending again which market you're in, what you'll do is you'll click the order now button. Okay. So the order now button, and mine's a little bit different only because I'm signed in right now. You don't necessarily have to be signed in, but the form will look identical. It'll all be the same. So some of these things are already kind of pre-saved from my login. But once you hit the order now button, it's going to take you directly to the order form. Now, all of these order now buttons go to the same form. So if you're going to be a pretty frequent user of Swell Transacts and any of the various services, you could always just bookmark this direct Google form to your browser or whatever, save it however you want. Again, these will be available within Suite Assist. But this is the backbone of receiving all of the information we need in order to start on a particular transaction or service. Now, big thing again to keep in mind is the order forms are different. So again, Northeastern North Carolina HRVA have the same order form, but let's say you're in our Richmond market and you click order now, that's going to bring you to a different order form with a different list of services. So, you know, always good to just double check the top. Swell Transacts order form RVA. This one's Swell Transacts order form HRVA NC. And again, the big reason there is because we want your information going to the right TC. So, again, just make sure you're double checking what order form you're filling out. So, again, in here, we click order now. Now, what you're going to do is a lot of it is pretty straightforward. We're making it very simple. You'll put in your name information, so email address, phone number, property address if needed on that particular service. And then this is where you're going to select what service or services you opt for. So listing full service, for example, all you're going to do is select that. We do have a little notes area at the bottom if you need to write anything specific to the TC, and whether that's Shonda or Jessica, you have a little box to do that there, and then you click submit. Now, once this information gets submitted, we're going to receive it on the back office, and we're going to be notified with all the necessary information, the agent, the information, exactly what you need done, what you need fulfilled. Once we receive that information, you're going to receive an agreement via DocuSign. The agreement is going to look like this. And this agreement is just a very basic agreement. It just says, essentially what you're retaining the Swell Transacts department to do. Option A, if using Swell Transacts for the following services, we put in here, and this will be different for HRVA in Richmond or whatever market you're in. So we're looking at the Hampton Roads, Virginia form right now. But if you're using it for any of these specific services, and we'll total up the amount, if it's just a one-time service, if you're using additional services, we'll have a total charge in here. And all we're asking essentially is just a signature request. You'll DocuSign that, return it back, and then we can get started with the order. So it's important to know we can't get started until this is signed. So immediately, again, once you submit the information on the order form, we'll receive that on the back office. You'll then receive an agreement. This agreement via DocuSign to go ahead and sign and return. And at that point is when we can go ahead and get started on that particular order. A couple things to highlight in here is regards to billing. So I know many agents, if they're using TC services, they like to, of course, get charged once the closing has been done, not paying up front. Same thing here. We won't bill until after that closing has happened. So what you'll see here actually in option A for these services that fall into category A, which for instance, Hampton Roads, Virginia, standard service, service combo, Sand to Sea, or the Suite Assist document upload service, payment will be charged within 48 hours, this is actually referring to the cancellation. So let me highlight that actually really quick. So if a transaction for any reason falls through, or if it does not close, there still will be a charge, a one-time charge of $100 on that transaction. And that's there just for the work that's been performed. So we're not going to charge the full amount, whatever that the price of that particular service is. Again, if the transaction fell through or did not close for any reason, there is going to be that one-time charge of $100. Payment will be charged within 48 hours of release to the credit card on file within Suite Assist. So for any of these services that you all sign up for, we are charging out of Suite Assist. So, it's not going to come out of the commission or I know some agents in the past we've kind of done it a different way. This is all going to be done via Suite Assist. So if you want to charge the card that's on file already within Suite Assist, that's fine. If you use a different card, or if you prefer to use a different card for any of these services, we'll need to have that information. You can always upload multiple cards on file within Suite Assist anyways, but we'll process that instead. So for listing services, if anything is done, as far as, having a listing entered or anything like that, we're going to go ahead and charge upon completion of that listing being entered. Could be done immediately, could be done up to within 48 hours. It really just depends on the day of the week. But if it's anything related to, like I said, in category A, like the standard, under contract services, things like that, then we'll go ahead and charge once the transaction's been complete, once the closing's already happened. But again, as far as billing, just so you all know, everything's going to be billed out of Suite Assist. So just make sure you always have a valid credit card or whatever card on file in that case. So I think that pretty much covers it. We highlighted the services offered, sort of the how to place an order, and then of course once you receive this, we'll begin service once it's been executed by both the TC and by yourself as the agent. Then we can get to work and begin tracking and everything. All communication, of course, you'll work with your TC or whoever's handling that order. So any questions, anything like that, of course, via email, we'll address via there, and then and smooth sailing from then on. So at that, I will. Well, Chanda, Jess, anybody, anything want to add before we kind of open it up to Q&A?
Matt, I'll just jump in to say what I thought was awesome about Swell rolling out this this service to the agents is that prior to coming to Swell, I worked for a company where they did offer, hey, my admin did this, my admin did that, but my admin took, the company took 20% of my commission. So it was an 80-20 split. And yes, I got some, these services done. But I think what's so awesome is that the costs or the charges for these services are a lot less than 20% or even 10% of the deal, and they're getting additional services that other brokerages are not offering. So I just thought that was really awesome. If I were not on the TC side of this was good.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you guys for that.
Shonda. Yeah, and it is a great point. I mean, of course, with the model we run, we don't want to nickel and dime agents, right? We don't charge broker splits or anything like that. But at the same time, I think, yeah, you can certainly, it can be still fruitful and save you some time and a lot of legwork. And it's important to note on that too. I want everybody to know that this is an optional service, right? I mean, we're not changing anything in terms of our model or anything like that. This is just another added value or service that you can take advantage of. If you just hate that process, hate the paperwork, hate the admin side, whatever the case is, or like I said at the beginning, maybe you're just centered on, you're really highly focused on dollar productive activities. You want to go out there and find your next client, right? And you just need somebody kind of a more so specialist rather than a generalist, and kind of plug in somebody in that's already great at doing this and can kind of help with that. So really, Swell Transacts is an extension of your team if you so choose to want to use it. But again, it is not mandatory to use. This is all optional, and but we do definitely feel that there are many agents that I feel are a great fit for using this type of service. So with all that being said, it's about 11:37. I wanted to, obviously open it up to any Q&A. I know we have some folks on, so I will at this point open it up, and whether you want to take yourself freely off mute, or if you want to send a question via the chat, and we'll take some time to address those.
I have a question. Oh, go ahead, Eric or Edward. Okay, question
ahead,
real quick.
All right, go ahead, Ann. Sorry.
Yeah. So for those agents who they're sold, I mean, they want to start tomorrow and they want, Swell Transacts to handle every single one of their transactions. Are they still going to be required to sign off on the agreement and pay per transaction, or is there something they can sign off and say, forever yours? I'm not inquiring for myself, but just in case somebody wants to know.
Yeah, great question, Ann. So you're referring to somebody that just wants to retain Swell Transacts on every single thing going forward. So right now, in terms of each order, we would still ask that agent to follow the same process. Maybe I think it's a great point. I think, maybe higher frequently used users of the service, we can probably kind of streamline that a bit more, and we can talk to the TCs about that. But yeah, just starting out right now, I would just ask them to follow the same process on each transaction, and submit, because each one of the alerts comes in one by one, right? So that's how it'll attach to our project management side.
Right.
But yeah, great question.
Makes sense.
EJ, I think you had a question.
Yeah, I did. Hey, good morning, all. How y'all doing?
Morning.
Just a quick question in regards to the transaction. So, for example, if you're in the middle of a transaction, does this specifically matter when you're trying to use it? Like, say, for example, I'm working on the SPA or whatever the case may be, and then I'm sidetracked or pulled away. At any given time, can I go in and say, hey, well, I'd like to request the service at this point? You get what I'm kind of mean?
Yeah, Shonda, you want to take that one?
I do, EJ. And yes, I don't have a problem with that. If you're in the middle of it and you're like, I can't take it. I have something else I need to focus on, and I need you to handle it from there. Yes, I would go on to the website, as Matt noted, and do order now. When I get the order on my side, I'm going to reach out to you just to figure out where you are. And then we can go from there, making sure that everything is all put together. I don't think that's a problem. I think some agents will find that, useful. They may try to get into it and realize, hey, I don't want to do this. And then, but for you, EJ, I might do it for free since you're a Steeler fan, man. I see it.
So those
Thank you.
towels.
Yes, I see them.
Yeah, no, great question, EJ. Do we have any other questions? If you guys do, certainly, and I know a lot of folks wanted to hop on this, but they couldn't. So again, like I said, I'm gonna send out the recording. If you have any questions about pertaining to things like the website or the order process or anything like that, please direct them to me. No need to reach out to Shonda or Jessica or Barry or anybody. Just direct them to me. As we get rolling with this, if it's your first time, submitting an order, if you're having an issue or whatever, just let me know. But the solution is live. So, whenever you want, it is good to go if you want to start utilizing it. Again, the website swelltransacts.com will also make it available via Suite Assist. So you'll have the link there, but bookmark those order forms. And we're just Barry and I, Shauna, Jess, the rest of our leadership team here, super pumped to get it rolling. And we're really excited at just the value that it'll bring. So with that being said, that's all I have. So you guys have a great Friday. Go enjoy this fall weather. We'll have the recording out shortly, and stay swell.
Thank you.